Can't promise you're going to play the piano again. Can't promise you're going to play the piano again.
My name is Lizzie, I live in Canterbury. I used to love dancing, clubbing and music, especially drum and bass. I loved anything creative, fashion and makeup, and on the 10th of February 2014 I suffered a major stroke at the age of 20.
Can you get your arm straight down by, can you straighten your elbow? Yeah.
The day before my stroke, I remember putting my lipstick on, looking in the little mirror, because when you're in phonics you're a little bit addicted to the mirrors. And I remember I kept feeling this feeling of tugging on my left side. It's literally like sandbags attached to you, like pulling down your left side. I mean, if you pull your lip, it's like that, but literally, I keep doing that, that's what it feels like. Or like a slender time for the first time, severe pins and needles all down whatever side of the brain you're having your stroke on. Mine was the right side of the brain, left side.
It's very difficult with stroke patients because they lose some independence, they can't use different parts of their limbs, they lose their speech, sight even, and also it's quite catastrophic with the relatives as well, because that's no longer the person that they knew before they had the stroke. So we work with the patient and with the relative.
Lizzie, okay. You can ask me a question.
I thought you were just going to talk.
You'd had the stroke, and I think it was like day 2, you were in your bed and in the hospital, and you said to me, will I have a disability? And I hadn't thought about it, so I said I didn't really know. And then we had a meeting with the nurse on the ward, and I said, Lizzie keeps asking me if she's going to have a disability. And the nurse said she probably will have a disability, and that was the first time I realised how the stroke would affect you.
It can affect somebody's sight. It can affect their mood. It can affect their emotions. It can affect their mobility, movement. It's a very hard thing for the family, because what we see is that the person that they love and care for has changed. As much as they want to carry on as normal, they aren't meeting necessarily the same person that they have always known.
I can't think, I wouldn't say properly, it takes me a while to think. I forget things a lot, like I leave the front door open sometimes. I'm slower than other people, it takes me a long time to process things.
It was a big shock because they showed me your brain scan and explained that you'd had a stroke, and I don't think it really registered at all, because you were 20 and having a stroke at 20 is quite a big deal and something that I didn't think happened, weirdly.
I can't use my ankle, so I wear a splint. I laugh for a long time because I find everything funny. Cry quite a lot because my brain can't process stuff properly. But yeah, it's all my brain injury.
And I think for you, that moment when you stepped back inside the house was quite powerful, and I think you suddenly realised you were on your own and we were on our own, and being discharged actually meant that you were out in the community and we just had to make it work. And that's, I think, when you realise the enormity of a disability.
I'm at uni, I can shower. I live with my boyfriend. I can walk. I don't know. I can't really remember what I was like.
You were a very different Lizzie after than you were when you had the stroke, before you had the stroke. And we had to get to know you again.
But I'm still quite lazy.
quite often, you know, people need support with all aspects of their care, so personal care. They might usually quite often not be able to use one arm functionally, so that might mean that they can't do activities that involve two-handed tasks. Usually, I think people's most concern when they first come into this type of unit is to be walking, and quite often the arm is the thing that comes secondary to that, even though in some respects it means that people need more support.
We assess a person holistically, look at all the problems that they've got from their stroke, and so we try to help them to set goals as well. So sometimes they might need a little bit of guidance in setting those goals, looking at other areas that they might need to work on, but obviously we take into consideration the patient's own goals.
How does that look? Lizzie's brain injury is literal. Everything is very literal. Not just the physical disability. Obviously, we had the house adapted. We have rails everywhere. And you said to me recently, "Oh, I feel bad that you've got that rail in the shower upstairs." And I said, "Well, that's good. I put my flannel on it now." I think the bigger things were you had a brain injury, and you were angry, and you were upset. A lot of the time you were in fight or flight mode, so you were either angry or, you know, you just wanted to leave the situation, and those times were quite dark times for us, and I had to go back to work, and I felt awful because you were here but you didn't want any carers. We got carers but you sacked them. You were just so fiercely independent. You wouldn't use a stick, and we were terrified when you went out in public. You didn't want to be in a wheelchair. And now when I look back, I think that's amazing, because you just got up and you were so determined to do it.
Because you're tight in your flexors.
People don't understand why they've had a stroke at that age. People don't understand why they've had a stroke at that age. The person that was pre-stroke is a different person now, and they've got to get used to the disabilities.
So what you're doing is this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because she said to bend it.
Yeah, but I think
That feels so nice.
yeah, it's 'cause I'm having a stretch. I'm trying to see what's happening.
Because I used to play piano, I'd love to do.
I can't promise you're going to play the piano again. It's like my hot hands have warmed it up.
Do that,
Yeah.
lift, and it does that.
Yeah, because it's going into like a spasm. Yeah.
It won't stop.
Now, you know, you're a lovely person still, getting back to the person that you were. You're very independent. It's very nice to be able to talk to you finishing your course with you know, such a positive outcome for something that, you know, those years ago would, you know, just frighten the life out of all of us.
And then you go on an amazing learning curve, because you start to understand what strokes do, how they affect people, and what kind of impact they have on a family. Do you think you are the person you was before the stroke?
I hope not.